far from the same. They call me a bad man, that's a fucking thing. Mama said swing back when another man swings. So I make my mama proud and I make the hits rain. Father forgive me, I can't forgive them. You know my history, know what I did then and what I do now. A whole lot worse. Heavy is the head, it's a blessing and a curse.
Now, in order to create Netflix, Bollywood or Hollywood level videos, you need access to some high-end cameras and lenses, which you and I might not be able to afford. But not anymore. What if I tell you that all the expensive gears that you see that are being used to create movies, you can access all of them at your fingertips? If that becomes reality, you can create any type of movie as you can imagine. And all of this is now getting possible because of AI. Let me show you how. Higgsfield AI just announced their latest tool, that is Cinema Studio. And using this, you have access to all the expensive and high-end camera and lenses that most of the movie production houses use. So now the power is in your hands. You can create any image using these camera and lenses and then convert that into video. So if you go to the link given in the video description below, you will land on this page of Higgsfield. And here you can see we have a new option, that is Cinema Studio. If you click on this, here you can see the list of all the videos that I have generated. So of course you cannot generate things in one shot. You have to repeat the process to get the final version. And you can see that all the videos are generated using this Cinema Studio. And how I did that, I'll explain you in a minute. And just to give you a quick overview about this Cinema Studio interface, on the top we have two tabs, images and videos. If we click on this, we will be able to see all the images that I have generated. On next to this image tab, we have video, where you will see your final video creations. Now, how do you generate the images? So we come down here to this box at the bottom. So let me just remove myself from here. So here is your neat and clean prompt box where you can enter any text as your prompt, and you can decide number of generations and you can decide the resolution of the image. Now, right now we are on the image tab, so whatever prompt we add here, it will generate image for that. And just below that, we have video tab. If we click on this, we have this section where we can again enter our prompt and we can add our first frame and last frame and then generate the video. Along with that, we have moments, which I'm going to cover in a second. And we have the time duration for the video. We have audio on or off. We also have slow motion option, which is off right now. And you can also decide the batch size. So let's start with the image creation process. So we come back here on images and here we enter any prompt. So this is going to be the base of your movie or the video that you want to create. So for my case, I already have the actual movie trailer, which I have recreated using AI. So I just entered every frame that I want in ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to generate a prompt for that scene. And then I just entered the same prompt here. And to add myself in that image, I just uploaded my image here. So if I click on this plus icon, here are all the images that I have recently generated. So you can scroll down and add your image in this, like this. And now when you enter the prompt, you will be able to generate the image using the reference image. And after entering your prompt, here is an interesting part. On this section, you can choose the camera type. If we click on this, here are all the camera type that you can choose. So we have a digital Red V Raptor and we have digital Sony Vins and all the other high-end cameras you can choose from. Apart from that, for different scenes, you can use different lenses. So if you know these stuff, then you can go ahead and choose whatever lens you want. And then you can also set the focal length. So this is going to give you a very precise result as you want. So once you combine your camera, your lens and your focal length, you can get a very precise result. Now, if you have no idea what this camera and these lens and the focal length does, I would highly recommend just spend some time with this tool, choose different camera and lenses and focal length and generate few images. For example, these 9 images that you see on top, I have just generated them to see how different camera and lens work at different focal length. So here you can see there is a difference in the quality. So here if we scroll through these images, you can see that every image is using either different camera or different lens or different focal length. So this one is done by Ariel XR35. This one is done by same camera but different lens, and again different lens. So we have this kind of circular blur motion, or I'm not sure if that lens does the same effect every time. So you can go ahead and test different camera and lenses and see which look works best for you. So here are a few more examples. And in the same way, you can go ahead and generate all the desired frames for your video. And then the only thing left is to generate video from these images or frames. And for that, we need to come down here to video. And again, we can go ahead and enter our first frame, or if you also have a last frame, you can add that. But here is an interesting part. If you only choose start frame, you can also add camera movement to your video. For example, in this case, if you watch this video, here you can see I have only used one image that you can zoom in here and see this was the frame, and I have used a preset which is the camera movement, and this is the final output. So you can see that we have an orbit around camera movement, and the initial frame was this one. So it's going to add all the camera movement using your high-end images that you have just generated. So how this works, all you need to do is go here and select your first frame. So I'm just going to choose my image, and let's say this one only. And I can also choose end frame, which I will cover in a minute. But now as I have selected first frame, I get access to movements as well, which are predefined camera movements. So I can make this as a static shot, maybe handheld camera movement, or maybe zoom out, zoom in, camera follow, and every single camera movement that you can think of. Once you select the camera movement, let's say orbit around, you can go ahead and enter your prompt, which you can write your own, or I would highly recommend that you go ahead and paste this image in ChatGPT and describe what you want from the scene in very plain language, and ChatGPT will give you a detailed prompt for the scene that you want to generate, and then paste before the camera movement. And once you click on generate, your output will look something like this. So for this example, I have used very simple prompt. So here is a prompt, and with that I have added zoom in camera movement. So this was the output for the same image. So here you can see I have selected the preset as zoom in, and this was my single frame. And in the same way, I have used the single frame, and this time I have used the preset or camera movement as orbit around. So this was the updated result. And once again, I have used the prompt as simple plain English. So you can go ahead and try with the simple one, or you can get the detailed prompt from ChatGPT as well. And with that, you can go ahead and generate all your videos, and finally combine all the generated video in a video editing software, which can be anyone. Now with all these camera movements, you can get creative and maybe combine the two videos to make a complete sequence. For example, this one, I can reverse this video so that the camera will be like zooming out, and then it will begin the orbit shot. So it will be a complete 20-second scene. So once again, these are my sample generations that I have used to create the final trailer of this movie using AI. But along with that, if you add another frame here, like if we add a start frame, let me just scroll down and choose one image. Let's say this one. So I have first frame here, and my end frame will be something like this. So I have my two frames added, but with that I can only add prompt. This time I cannot add a camera movement, at least for now, because now we have defined how the video should flow. So we can again define the camera movement in the prompt itself, and it worked pretty well for me. Now once again, you might not be able to get the result in one shot, so be ready to do more iteration in your prompt and generate few videos and see which one works best for you. Here you can see I have generated same scene twice and use the best one for my use case. Here you can see that this was the final shot I wanted, so I have speed ramped it in editing. But when I tried it first, it was like this, which I didn't want to use. Here you can see that I have generated all these versions for the same first frame and last frame using different prompts or maybe different images as well. So you need to give it a try a few times and see which one is the best shot. So there you have it. You now have access to film grade camera and lenses, so you can create any image and then convert that to your own cinema using the power of AI. If you want to access Cinema Studio, go ahead and check out the link in the video description below. And if you like this video and you want to watch more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever we upload our next video. That's it for this one, and I'll catch you in the next video.